Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is always such a pleasure to be able to join the Down Syndrome Family Network in celebrating World Down Syndrome Day. Today's conference is 3 days early this year, as Lisa has reminded us. But Thursday, the 21st, is also a very important day for approximately 19,000 children in Trinidad and Tobago who will sit the Secondary Entrance Assessment Examination, SEA, for entry into secondary school. In that regard, I would like to take this opportunity to wish my very dear friend, I should say our very dear friend, Rochelle Passad, who just introduced me, the master baker and owner of Rochelle's Sweet Treats. I want to wish her abundant blessings on Thursday. Congratulations to you, and I know you will go into that exam room and show them that they must not believe in stereotypes. In 2012, the United Nations chose March 21st as World Down Syndrome Day, a day to raise awareness about our Down syndrome brothers and sisters who are born with just one extra chromosome, chromosome 21. The journey to full inclusion for persons with Down syndrome has been a prolonged one. The road has been and continues to be filled with potholes. We have, however, come a long way from the 1850s and the 1960s when persons with Down syndrome were hidden in institutions and they were denied basic human rights because of their physical appearance and because of the belief that they had limited capability for learning. Under the 2006 Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, the CRPD, we saw a fundamental change towards persons with disabilities. In the words of the then Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, persons with Down syndrome were no longer to be regarded as objects of charity and welfare, but they were to be seen as persons with rights and dignity, persons entitled to the enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms. They must not be denied accessibility. On the 23rd of June 2015, Trinidad and Tobago ratified this convention, committing our country to creating a society respectful of the rights and inclusivity of persons with disabilities. While on World Down Syndrome Day, we celebrate persons with Down syndrome, at the same time, we highlight their challenges with the adoption of themes such as leave no one behind and inclusion means. This year, we speak of end the stereotypes. Stereotypes exist in all societies, and simply put, they are set ideas that people have about someone, whether positive or negative, but often they are inaccurate. Some of you may have seen the recent video entitled Assume I Can. This video has gone viral, and some of you, having seen it, may love it. Some may be offended slightly by the expletives used by the 22-year-old Canadian actress and Down syndrome model, Madison Tevlin, as she addresses the frustration at being stereotyped. But this video has hit the nail on the head. Madison speaks of the negative assumptions which people have about persons with Down syndrome, more particularly about young adults with Down syndrome being treated as children, being prevented, as she says, from drinking, from living on their own, and from even reading Shakespeare. The video says, and she says, Old MacDonald Has a Farm was a better fit for her, according to the video. The video shows that our negative assumptions about people with Down syndrome can lead us to treat them in such a way that the assumptions become a reality. Such assumptions have been described as self-fulfilling prophecy, but we can change the script. And as Madison says, Assume that I can, so that I will. As we call for an end to the stereotyping of persons with Down syndrome, our conversations should also treat with the subject of health equity for persons with disabilities. In so doing, we must be guided by the provisions of Article 25 of the CRPD, which states that persons with disabilities have the right to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health without discrimination on the basis of disability. The standard of care for persons with Down syndrome must be the same as it is for persons without disabilities. Many people do not know that persons with Down syndrome have a higher risk of developing certain medical conditions, which include thyroid disorders, gastrointestinal issues, leukemia, heart defects, early onset Alzheimer's, dementia, and vision and hearing issues. This being the case, it is imperative that persons with Down syndrome have unfettered access to health care if they are to achieve the highest standard of health, and if we are to ensure their full participation and inclusion in our society. Until such time as our brothers and sisters with Down syndrome are treated equally and equitably, we must continue to advocate for their empowerment and inclusion. And as we do this, I encourage you to remember the words of self-advocate Karen Gaffney. Every life has value. Every life matters, regardless of the number of chromosomes we have. We are all angels. We are all God's angels. Thank you, and may God bless us all.